You gotta help me up.
Stand up.
Oh my gosh. But then I'm.
Just pick your hiney up off the chair.
My honey don't go up off the chair. It don't work that way.
Out where the fields stretch wide and true, you've got stories to share and chores to do. Marriage and mayhem under the sky so blue. Welcome to the good life. We'll pull you through. Rural roots in cowboy boots, laughter and love where the dirt runs deep. It may fly, but the bond won't break. Welcome to the good life. It's ours to keep.
Welcome back to Rural Roots and Cowboy Boots. She's Amy, the diplomat, the diffuser, and the deep breather.
And he's Patrick, the cowboy, the blunt one, and the reason why I had to get a Costco-sized pack of apology cards.
This week, we're talking about what it means to stay connected when everything else feels like it's falling apart.
Because the world is crazy, but so are we. So let's ride. All right, guys. And so this is our second episode, and we're kind of focusing on how we are different and what makes us different. And so
On spaghetti and your waffle.
that is a great thing, and that is so funny that I say this all the time because, again, in Patrick's world, everything is just like on a plate and it's all interconnected and like it just humps together. But in my world, I like the waffles. I like everything to have its own container and be allocated, and I consciously am making sure that every square of my waffle has an equal amount of syrup.
You also want a 30-volume book on a situation to describe to you, and I just want the cliff notes.
Very much so, very much so. But the details matter.
It doesn't matter.
The details
You still get to the same spot.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
Not necessarily. For example, Sunday, our sweet baby boy blessed us by coming home to spend time with us. And we were just going to go to breakfast.
Which I gotta say is a scary world when you're in an empty nest stage of your life for your son to just show up at the house. But anyhow, go ahead.
Oh, I love it. He's always welcome. But he was at home, and we just had to make a decision about how we were going to structure our day, you and our day.
Right.
And one of the things that
Centered around the sun.
well, we'll go back to the sun in a second. But I will say, I was trying to think of how we could organize our day so that our son could go and eat breakfast with us, and he works from 6 at night until 3 in the morning, a certain number of days. And so I wanted him to be able to go home and get some rest before he had to be at work. So that was important. Our daughter had plans at lunchtime, but I wanted her to be able to join us because, again, as any mama knows, when all of your babies are together, it is just warms your heart. And so I was excited about that, and I was trying to coordinate that. And then my mama, who also lives on the farm with us, I knew she wanted to see our son, and so I was trying to coordinate how all of this was going to align. And everything I did in my head, you thought was absolutely ridiculous. Because
it was not a direct line. It was all over the damn place.
And it was. But it depends on what you value. And you valued, in that moment, breakfast. That was the only thing he cared about was,
right?
I am hungry and we are going to go eat breakfast.
Right.
Okay? Breakfast was secondary to me. that was the food was only just a small part. It was the fellowship and getting all of those people to be together and coordinating that in my heart that mattered more. And so, yes, we absolutely disagreed in that moment over
So,
something as stupid as scheduling breakfast.
so Waffle House took priority over functionality.
Very much so. Very much.
Waffle House.
Exactly. Now, again, we are no disrespect to Waffle House. If you would like to sponsor us, please understand Patrick actually has a hat
Right.
from Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
But
Sunday morning Waffle House is a different bird.
it's a different
Anyhow.
vibe. But I will just say, yes, out of all the places that we could have gone to for breakfast that morning, Waffle House checked all of the boxes
Okay.
for everything except breakfast. And so everybody got to go, everybody got to enjoy, it met all the needs. Food, mediocre on some days, but again, that was secondary to me. I was happy.
Kaden was happy, Michaela was happy, your mom was happy.
And Patrick was
Was
still
not.
Patrick was still hungry.
Right.
So anyway, but I think that's a key part to how in general men and women think and how we operate, if
Right.
you will. You very much want to get to the end,
Right.
okay? To me, the journey is half the joy.
Do you know how much gas costs now?
I understand.
We could have made a straight line and saved money. Cattle prices are good, but they ain't that good.
But again, I'm just saying, any moment that I can spend with those I love, it warms my heart so much. But that just one example is exactly how our entire 30 years of marriage have been. But unfortunately, it took 25 of those years for us to figure out what we were valuing, because 25 years ago, honestly, we would have had a massive blow up over that Sunday morning decision, and it would have been doors slamming and not nice words said and all of those things. Now it was just, yeah, you don't agree with me, I don't agree with you, you'll get over it, I don't care. And we've kind of worked our way through a lot of that.
Right.
But when we look at younger married couples and people who may not have learned all of those things, it's
You know that whole saying, make love, not war? These young couples, when they're fighting over stupid things, they're wasting energy.
I can agree with that.
That's just a waste of energy. I watch some of these people and I'm like, huh, you could put that energy to something else.
I agree completely. One of the things that has gotten us, helped me manage you a lot better, is because I kind of have, when we were little, and again, I'm going to date ourselves, it was a choose your own adventure book. Okay, and like you could like go to page 3 if you wanted this ending, or go to page 7 if you wanted this ending. Well, we've been married long enough now that I know what page 3 is going to get me and what page 7 is going to get me. And most of the time, I am the diplomat.
Yep.
I choose the path of least resistance for you. Most of the time, yeah, let him roll, let him have it. But there are those moments in our story where I say to our children, stay away from your dad for a little while, because I promise you I'm going to piss him off, because I'm just going to have this fight because it matters that much to me, and we're going to fight. So while I don't think our outlook has changed over 30 years, I think how we approach it definitely has. So yeah. So I have to ask, you don't think that it is worth it to argue with me anymore?
Absolutely not. No.
Tell me more.
Absolutely. Why? Why? What do we accomplish? You're still going to do what I want to have done.
How does that work for you? Do you think I always do what you want to have done?
I think you always let me think that I'm winning and doing what I want to do.
Okay.
I think that's what I mean. But no, fighting is just a waste of energy. It doesn't get you anywhere.
I can agree with that.
It's me everywhere. It doesn't get you in.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think there are enough other things in the world that we fight against and fight for
Mm-hmm.
that I think over the years we have learned not to fight as
Against.
much with each other.
Quit fighting against each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we join together and we fight the world.
Absolutely. Go us.
How the hell we stayed married in all this mess?
That is a great question. I think anybody who has ever asked us for marital advice, what we have told them is neither one of us have ever given up at the exact same time. Now, yes, humor, definitely part of that, but true story, there have been moments
Right.
over the past 30 years where both of us have been willing to just be done.
Right. We have.
But what saved us?
Neither one of us did it at the same time.
Absolutely. Not at the exact same time.
Yep.
So those moments that I was willing to be done,
Right.
you
And then I
said
fought.
you fought. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then vice versa.
Right. Those moments, yes, absolutely.
And then we became empty nesters.
And again, that's a whole different world of marriage. Because, again, for anybody, we got married when we were really young.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, we got married at 20, and we had a lot of obstacles. A lot of people did not think that we were going to make it. Like, let's be real,
Right.
we didn't think we were going to make it. We had probably one of our worst fights.
On our wedding day.
On our wedding day.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And so our wedding day was not a picturesque, beautiful moment for me that all girls dream about. So instead, for our 25th wedding anniversary, what did we do?
Elvis renewed our vows.
We renewed our vows with Elvis. And that was everything that personifies who we are now.
Right.
Because it was not anything other than just funny and relaxing and all of the things and emotions we didn't have 25 years ago.
But now with the vow renewal, the one thing I had told you was, you said I do 25 years before, and you could be stupid. You do it second time, well, that's just your fault.
I agree. I agree.
And that we're renewing the lease. But that's it.
I agree. And so now, I don't want to think that, forever is a long time, but
Long suffering.
long suffering. And I think that is where we are. I definitely think that made us do that. But I also think, in a lot of ways we got married so young, but we grew up together.
Right? I would give that. Yep, we did. We grew up together. Yep. Because, we were both immature.
Absolutely.
Right?
And just had not experienced life in a lot of different ways and had our own narrow views of seeing the world. And
right.
then we came together and
your mama wasn't always right.
I hear that, and I understand. My mom was not always right. My dad was not always wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to say that.
So you're admitting whenever he told you to get your crap together.
Yes.
Funny story. She called her daddy and fussed about me. And shortly after we got married, called her daddy. He drove over an hour to go where we were living and told her that she was wrong and she had to get her stuff together.
My dad did. He did.
I still remember that.
I was going to say, even, at the end of the world, even, like I said, all the other things, my dad absolutely loved you and knew that.
But the challenge is that I like to just solve the problem. got the problem, let's solve it, let's move on. Because why? There's another damn problem. But you want to study it, and you want to talk about it, and you want to examine and test out this feeling, and so what I had to do was learn how to let your approach go through the process of that approach, and then I'll go solve the problem.
I can agree with that. I definitely can agree with that. But there is something to be said for talking about a problem or talking about an issue or, understanding the feelings behind a choice that was made or something like that,
Here we are in feelings again. No. No. Feelings don't matter.
Okay.
Right or wrong.
But as we approach this topic, I do want, we're talking about, the Cowboy and the Diplomat. But one of the things I have to be really honest about is most people think that I am the nice one and you are the not nice one, for lack of a better term. But I will also say, in full transparency, you have closer friendship relationships than I do at this stage of life, and quite honestly, throughout our whole life. Because for me, in the course of a day, I do my job and I talk to people, and then I go and I check on our daughter and our son and my mom and my dad and you. And by that point, I love my friends. I want to be that girl who has best friends and we go to the movies and we, hang out and we talk all the time. But I'm tired of talking to other people, and so I don't do that. You, on the other hand, are not that way at all, because you have such intimate friendships with such random people that it is pretty interesting.
Right. I mean, they're not all in the industry. I mean, we go everything from artsy fartsy chefs to other cowboys, and I mean, it's just you have to remember who you're talking to and take off the hats. Maybe you have to soften language down. Or
well, and again, I get that, and it's very interesting to me because we travel a lot as a family, and you're on the phone a lot, and so the kids and I over the years have just get to hear you, and again, it's so interesting to me because whether you are talking to, and again, I'll say his name because I know it's not going to make him upset, but whether you're talking to Andre from Canada about anything, and you can talk to me about his children and about his family and about all of the things, but you're laughing and you're cutting up and you're having all these things, and then you get off the phone and then you talk to, Curtis, and and you guys are having these cattle conversations that are so in depth. But again, about his family and his grandchildren and what they've done, and you share life together in such an intimate way that people who may not know us would not recognize that is part of your personality. That, honest to goodness, when it comes to really deep relationships, you are the stronger person in that.
But, and I'm not saying it's strategic. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's strategic. However, how do you have an argument with somebody if you don't know everything about the person? How do you not have a debate if you don't know everything that's involved in that person's life, where they're at and what they're going through, and can I push a button now or do I have to wait? And so, I mean, it's just a collection of data, I mean, not being strategic about it. It's just, this is the way it is. Versus you sit there and she's awesome. She will look at you and smile, and you think she's so sweet and lovable and just says, oh, I could just eat her up. But the whole time she's cussing you out without saying the first cuss word. And I'm like, I don't understand that approach to life. I'm just going to tell you to screw off. And then you're like, you could do it in a whole different manner. And I'm like, there's times whenever we're in here arguing and you're just, and then I think I won and I walk off and I'm like, oh crap. And she got me. And that's frustrating. So.
Well, and again, I mean, it is very much our differences and how we handle things, but I definitely think that both of us um, value relationships with
Right.
other people, and we definitely value learning and listening from other people. Again, we have multiple children. We've alluded to this in the last episode that are not our biological children, who we call them Pat and Amy's kids. But they don't all look like us. They don't, all follow the same, belief systems innately that we do. But that's okay. Because again, you're right. It is such a learning mechanism. But when other people don't know us and they don't understand the thought process with which we approach conversations, you're right. It is very easy to either label me as a pushover and just nice, or ditzy, or any of those other words, or bitchy if you're going to use, for a woman, like that's the woman version of everything. Or for you, you're the ass. You're the asshole. Patrick is just, gosh, he's so rude. Oh my goodness, he's so whatever. When in reality, if you are the one more likely to reach out and help somebody than I am. And so again, our differences are very different, but we have definitely used them for not only our benefit, I think, but to make the world a little bit better through our relationships and conversations as well.
Right.
So, like probably a lot of married couples right now, one of our greatest communication skills or communication methods is sending TikToks back and forth to each other, right? Like, we're laying in bed side by side, but he's going to send me a TikTok. Right. I'm going to send him one back. It's okay. But you sent me a TikTok this week that really started a lot of conversation in our house. And so I want you to tell me a little bit about the TikTok that you sent me.
So there was a news story about a guy who has named his Chat GPT and is having a relationship with it.
Tell me more.
He is in love with his Chat GPT. He is married. He has a wife, and his wife feels like there's another person that's in their relationship, and he's having an affair with AI.
Okay. And so we both use AI. We use ChatGPT. And so I can see that, okay, for example, one of the things we just talked about before coming to record this was could we use ChatGPT to book a flight and search for flights? So yes, we can ask ChatGPT things. But imagine being married at this point and feeling like you needed some emotional support or something and going...
But that's a person who doesn't understand what the purpose of what the AI is meant to do. AI is meant to give you an answer and to make you happy.
Okay.
That is its two goals in life. Every time you go and ask a question, it's going to give you an answer and it's going to make you happy.
But isn't that my job in your life as a wife? So
I'm waiting 30 years. But I mean, literally, this dude's in fantasy land because it hasn't argued, it hasn't rebuked, it hasn't, and he's like, I don't know, I don't know. No.
No.
He's named it, and when you ask ChatGPT about this person, it responds with all these attributes, these positive attributes. Are you so damn insecure with yourself? if anyhow, I'm
So-
gonna get in trouble.
So okay, all right. So let's take that a step further. I mean, and again, we were married before Tinder or Bumble or any of those things
We
became.
got our first email address when we were in college.
Yes, so I mean, like we were married before all that, but we have children, and so we have gotten to kind of explore. But is AI any different, and going to AI for a relationship any different than putting a picture of me on Tinder from 20 years ago and kind of starting that kind of fake conversations and all of those things?
No, I mean, I guess it's not so much the person, the fake person, it's the fake emotions.
Okay, all right.
That would be what it. I mean, because it's all purely emotional. There's no human being.
Okay,
Not today.
okay, all right.
You keep right on. I might be. Not.
And again, AI does not scare me. I embrace the technology, so I would embrace any of that at this point. Take it if they can handle you. But I understand. I guess I'm just trying to think about if we are looking to us, a younger couple, or some kind of advice or things like that. I think even one of the things that we had to kind of learn was guard your heart.
Right.
And I quoted that scripture quite a bit to our kids, but I'll say that to anybody who's listening. And emotionally things matter, and you and I have had some volatile, knockdown, drag out fights.
Right.
But the fights are honestly not what scare me. It's when you get so done that you don't want to fight anymore. And then that's the problem with this AI and all of these other things in a relationship kind of mindset.
As much as I don't like to be told that I'm wrong, sometimes you have to be told that you're wrong. And AI will never tell him that he's wrong. AI will never say, dude, you're being lazy, or you got to put your problem. Like, AI is not going to correct you, because it's supposed to make you feel like that you're right in the answer.
Okay.
And so, that's not how do you grow in a relationship if you've never had to ponder on a situation, right? You will never grow. You are forever just in this fantasy land.
I can agree with that.
I don't understand.
And
anyhow.
And again, no, I mean, I think what you're saying is exactly right, because we have grown up together, because we have been together over half of our lives, honestly, and but to have some kind of thing or technology or thing there, and so the technology is not bad, but it cannot replace the relationship side of things. The other part that I will also say is people who are using AI for the counseling side of things. That sounds great and good if you maybe can't, because we've had times in our marriage where we could not even afford a marriage counselor. Like the thought of that, non-negotiable, right? Like we didn't have, that was why we were fighting, was because we had no money. And so being able to have an AI kind of situation. But earlier this week, even we used AI to ask a relationship question. And it was interesting the answer that we got, because of
We were
how
both right.
But we were both right, but it was also because of how we asked the question.
Right.
And without being able to listen to both of us,
right,
hear both sides of us, quite honestly, look at our body language and everything else, it gave a answer to a problem that really was something that I could have used in an argument and said, here, this is what AI says, this is what Google says, this is what whatever says.
But when you read it, it's not what it said.
But even then, it only said what I told it.
Right.
And I only told it my side of the story. So all of that to kind of encompass and kind of bring us back together to just say that, even though we have this weird relationship and funky communication style and all of those things, the fact that we do communicate
Right.
is kind of what keeps us good, what keeps us going, what keeps us growing in this weird world.
This next generation, I don't want to, I, it's all right to be told that you're not smart. It is all right to be told that you're not good at something. It is all right to be told that that haircut looks like crap. It is all right to say, don't wear that. You look like a dork. It is like, it's all right. It's all right to experience that. This dude is, he's, and the woman is like, I don't know what I did wrong in my marriage. Like questioning her whole relationship with her husband. And I'm like, I don't know. Well, you must have been really bad.
Well, or
nag, something. I don't know.
Or I mean, again, looking for, because again, I think everybody is looking for connection. Everybody is looking for acceptance. Everybody is looking for validation and all of those things. But you're right. You have to be able to take the good and the bad. You
Right.
have to be able to take the criticism and, and the praise, if you will. There's a lot of Amyisms that I say quite a bit, but one of the best advices that somebody ever gave me was, you cannot let their praise go to your head if you don't want their criticism to go to your heart.
Right.
And I'm very, very careful about that because, people love you when you do what you want them to do, but the second that you don't do what people want you to do or expect you to do, then suddenly you become the villain in their
Right. story.
And so again, this poor people and all of that with AI and I don't know where the future of the world kind of leads, but I definitely don't think that AI spouses is the way to go. So we know what a relationship doesn't look like, and we know how different communication styles don't look. Um, but again, it's those moments where, how do you know that you're doing the right thing and you're going to be okay? And again, I think some of those moments for me have come in the worst possible moments of our lives, when things were so hard. I talk about it a lot with my dad whenever he had Alzheimer's, and we were going through some terrible business things that were happening at the time. And our stress level was at on a scale of 1 to 10 was at a 20, 25. We were off the charts and we were in multiple different directions. And I guess, I will never forget, the end for my dad and stuff. And you were there. And you were there in some of the most intimate and private ways that, I'll never talk about, and, whatever, out of respect for my dad. But you learn really quickly, somebody you can count on or somebody you can depend on really, really is maybe sometimes worth the fight. Again, even a more recent example, we kind of bickered back and forth on Sunday, and we kind of alluded to that about how we had, trying to figure out where we were having breakfast or whatever. And again, I'm going to say this, but I have to be very clear. We have one of those above ground pools that you buy from Walmart. So, again, when I say I'm lounging at the pool, please understand, I am not at, anyway, I'm at the pool, and I'm watching you weed eat around my family cemetery and my dad's tombstone. And I watched that, and quite honestly, I even took a picture of it, and I didn't post it or share it with anybody. But it just reminded me, like, out of all the days and all the moments where you get on my nerves, and you do, you get on my last nerve.
It's love.
The fact that you show up and without asking, you make sure that my dad's tombstones and our family cemetery is taken care of and looks presentable always is something that I will forever appreciate. Yeah.
But, I mean, so I guess it's a way you almost need to look at it from a standpoint. I made this comment, me being the smartass, made this comment, and I'll circle around and bring back into this touching moment. Is that when our daughter moved out to college, left our son, right? Then our son moved out to college, and I looked at you when we pulled in the house, and I said, "You realize that everybody leaves your life except for me." Okay, and so it isn't if you're looking for the relationships where stuff is given to you to show your love, that's not as meaningful as doing acts of service to show your love. And so I can be the ass, but also will take care of your family stuff. I much rather do the show than the give. I'm the last on the line. You're stuck with me. Ain't going nowhere.
Well, I mean, and I appreciate that. But again, I mean, there's just something to be said for, and maybe in our world today, and again, even in our marriage, I'm the first to admit, you just don't give enough credence to the person who just shows up.
Right.
The person who's just there. And, you know,
I mean, I tried giving you flowers to show you my love.
Yes, and then what happened, Patrick? Because we got to be honest. I still, and I hope they're watching this because. Anyway, I hope they're watching this because I'm going to apologize profusely to you again. But what happens when you get in trouble and you send me flowers, Patrick? What happens?
They send you the bill a couple weeks later.
They send me the bill because here's what my sweet husband says. He says, just put it on my tab. Just put it on the tab. It's okay. And they keep sending the bill. And I promise you, I open it and I hand it to my husband and I say, this is yours. Pay your bill. So, yes.
So I'm not allowed to send you flowers.
You are not
right?
allowed to send me flowers.
And we're not really chocolate people.
No, we're not chocolate people.
So,
you know,
I just can show you love through acts of service.
I can definitely agree
so
with
then
that.
you quit fussing at me.
I can definitely agree. And again, over the years, things have definitely, you know, transpired and whatever and stuff.
Shout out to Pine Tops Flower and Florist Company.
Flowers by Roberts.
They treat me Flowers by Roberts. That's right. They have done me well.
They've done him well because in case you were wondering, he stays in the doghouse a lot. But yeah, so, I mean, you know. So, all right, so we talk about yours as acts of service. Now, again, this would be a whole nother episode, and I even hesitate to mention it, but I have to be
Open up that can.
to be reciprocal here, you know. Again, for me, you just need me to shut up and show up.
Right.
Is that pretty much what you need?
I'm a lot easier. What I want is a lot easier than what you want.
I can definitely agree with that. You know,
Just shut up and show up.
Okay. I got you.
And don't complain.
Don't complain about
Showing up. I need help. Trust me, I go through a whole list of people I can call because I don't want to deal with, oh my gosh.
True.
For example, I need someone to drive a truck so I can spray the fence line.
Yeah,
and you said, oh, you don't have to wait for the kids. I'll help you. And I said, okay. And then a couple days later, weather was right, wind was right. And I said, hey, I'm going to go get the truck with the sprayer so we can go spray fence lines. Well, what are we doing that for? Well, you know what? I'm going to wait for the kids.
But again, just to set the scene, to give you my defense, was I had already gotten out of the pool and had gotten dressed. And like most women are going to tell you that you're going to have two different standards of clothing and attire for I'm going to drive the truck while my husband sprays the weeds, or I'm going to get dressed because we're probably going to go out to dinner in a little while, and that way I'm done for the night.
Shut up and show up.
I
don't care how you dress.
I
I just need you to drive.
That is pretty much it. So yeah. So again, guys, I mean, do we have it all figured out? Absolutely not. Are we a hot mess? 9 out of 10? Yes, 10,000 times. But have we learned how to kind of communicate that and share that? Right. And most importantly, laugh about it? Absolutely. So that's our take. Messy, mismatched, but still married.
I'd say we're doing all right for a cowboy and a diplomat.
We hope it gave you guys something to laugh about, think about, or talk about with your own people.
And if not, blame the diplomat.
See y'all next time.
We're here to play, and we're here to play. Rural roots in cowboy boots, laughter and love where the dirt runs deep. The door may fly, but the bond won't break. Welcome to the good life, it's ours to keep.